I'm a mum and a grandmother at 38 years old. So I had my first child when I was 15. I found out 3 weeks before my 15th birthday that I was pregnant and was going to bring a new life into this world, which was absolutely scary. I had grown up knowing nothing but poverty and all that comes with poverty. That includes all aspects of violence, domestic violence, sexual violence, substance abuse, and just most days not even knowing where my next meal was going to come from. My mum was a single mum trying to raise 5 kids on her own. Our father had left when we were all quite young due to that domestic violence. So obviously, being so young myself, it was absolutely terrifying, because the last thing I wanted was for my child to be exposed to the environments that I had grown up with. And while some part of me knew that it was not normal to grow up that way, it was all I knew, so it was also very normal. But I knew how much it hurt and how hard it was. And before I found out I was pregnant, due to my life experiences, I'd already tried to take my own life twice because I didn't see any other way out. So while a lot of people sort of went, oh my goodness, you're 14, you're going to have a baby, how can you bring a new life into this world? How are you going to support them? How are you going to do this as a child yourself? All I could think was that I now had something to live for. And no matter what that looked like for us, I had strong and powerful women around me. I had my mum, who is the strongest, most resilient woman I know. I had my grandmother. I had my little sister. I knew that I had people around me that would support me no matter what choice I made. So at 15, I became a mum and I brought my beautiful son into this world. And I knew then that there was a reason for everything, and that I could somehow use those experiences to create a better life for him. And in turn, once he grew up, he would be able to take the lessons that I'd had to learn the hard way and be able to do that for his own family. Because the hardest cycle to break is that intergenerational cycle. Because like I said, it's just so normal when you're living in it and when you know no other way. So to be able to step outside that and look from the outside coming in, it just opens your eyes to something that you just didn't ever think was possible. If you'd told me now that at 38 I'd be the CEO of a national company and have, my 3 kids and 3 grandbabies, there's absolutely no way. I would have thought you were crazy. there's just, because you don't, we're born as Aboriginal people, we are born and told not to expect anything. So I feel like the best way I can explain it is that there's sort of 2 worlds. So when I was growing up, it was very much that you are here in this box and that's all you're entitled to. Don't step outside it, because nothing outside of that is made for you. You're not entitled to it, you don't deserve it, you're never going to get it. So very early on, we just don't hope or dream because we don't know that there's something else out there. And it's probably been the most difficult part of my journey, is learning to walk in those 2 worlds and to be able to accept that there are things out there for us. As Indigenous women, we are so powerful in our own right, and we don't often see ourselves as leaders. We don't see ourselves as matriarchs and knowledge keepers, and often the people that hold our whole entire family groups and extended social groups together. But over the last 20 years, I have learnt that that's exactly what we are as women. And that's not from my own experiences, that's from watching other women's experiences and seeing how they grow and how they come into their own. And you can provide all of the services, all of the resources, all of the wraparound support you like, but until, as women, we're able to take ownership and shift our mindset, that is the hardest step to take. It's really, really difficult when you have a wall up that tells you you're not going to push past that wall to actually do anything. And once we can start to think like that, we're then able to pass that down to our kids and to our sisters and our grandmothers and our mothers, and they are able to take the first step in their journey and see where that takes them.